The build will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. Build an SCV. This is Teaja's Banshee opener. Terran vs. Terran. It's about as standard of Banshee open as you're going to get. Build an SCV. I picked this Banshee open. There's a few different flavors of Banshee opens, but this one is my favorite, and it's easy and fun. Build an SCV. Set the rally of your command center to the top of your natural ramp in preparation to build the 10 depot that you do in like every Terran build order since the beginning of mankind. Build an SCV. When the SCV reaches the top of the ramp, build a supply depot. Should be 10 supply. Standard stuff, yo. Build an SCV. Queue up another SCV. You'll block for just a moment. And then return to the top of your wall and build a barracks when you have 150 minerals. Good job. Queue up another SCV. Don't miss any SCVs. You should be at 13 of 19 supply. When you have the money, buy a gas. Build an SCV. So it's 10 depot, 12 racks, 13 gas. Very standard. Set the rally of the SCV building your barracks to scout and build another SCV. Your gas geyser should finish now. Put 2 bros in. Build another SCV. Set the rally of the command center to the top of your ramp and build a marine right now. When this SCV finishes, you are going to build an orbital command. After that, the SCV, the last one, this guy, he's going to build a supply depot at the wall. This completes your wall off. Build another marine. At 100 gas, build a factory. Try to put it in a non-obvious location. Drop a mule, build an SCV. Build another marine. Scout with your scout. Scout it up, yo. Scout it up. You're looking for gas counts. Build an SCV. When your factory is halfway done, build a gas geyser. So right now, build a gas geyser. Build an SCV. Marines should be constant. Build a supply depot. Well, your first 4 Marines should be constant. Put 2 workers into your gas that just finished. Build a starport and start a tech lab on your factory. Continuous SCV production. When you have 50 gas, put a reactor on that barracks.
Add-on complete.
When the tech lab finishes on the factory, you can move that factory. Just lift it off the tech lab in preparation to swap it with the starport. Build another supply depot. SCVs should be constant. Also, if your scout revealed Reapers, you need to position your 4 Marines on the high ground, okay? Swap the starport onto the tech lab, begin a Banshee, and begin cloak continuous SCVs. When your reactor finishes, pump out 2 Marines.
Complete.
Don't forget to set the rally of your starport to the enemy's base. Nice little sneak around to get all the blasting that you want. Right now you have some spare minerals. I'll talk about this. This is why I like this build. It gives you a lot of flexibility with what you want to do. Build 2 more Marines. Keep Marine production constant. If you have a fear of a push, you can always get a tech lab on your factory to get into tanks. But you really want to get 2 Banshees out as quickly as possible. Queue up another Banshee. Build another supply depot. First Banshee should be out. And cloak will finish right about the time that Banshee gets there. Keep building the Marines and SCVs. you'll see that your minerals are starting to stack up, so you can expand right now. You can double expand. You can get 2 additional racks and go into traditional bio-tank play, just like the other build I showed you. I'm going to opt for my favorite route, which is now getting an additional command center on the low ground. Then I get my 2 barracks, and then I get a 3rd CC. You only want to go into that 3rd CC, like if you only want to do 2nd and 3rd CC right after the Banshee stuff, if you're confident that your opponent is not going to be doing any more pushes. Cool. There you go, boys. Have fun, and gals. That is the Banshee open.
Add-on complete.
Alright guys, here's the game that I wanted to show off. This is a Terran vs. Terran. Yes, it is a previous season. Platinum League, North America. He scans at the exact moment that my Banshee comes out. The other opponent is doing a 1 Rax Fast Expand, the most vanilla of vanilla against Terran players. Now, against a 1 Rax Fast Expand, you really have to be fearful of his mid-game timings, because if I don't get damage done with these Banshees, the mid-game is going to be hard for me to hold. 1 Rax Fast Expand builds a beautiful 10 to 12 minute push. I mean, you all should know that. That's really what the 15 gas expand is, as a 1 Rax Fast Expand, only like Heart of the Swarm style. So I build 2 Banshees, and then I immediately go into a 2nd command center. Instead of playing greedy, the mistake here would definitely have been to get a 2nd and 3rd command center before getting a 2nd and 3rd barracks. I gotta get Stimpak and combat shields quickly, so that's why I opted for the route that I went. Now I'm getting myself some lovely, lovely SCVs. I wait until the Marines show up to put scan on, and I miscontrol these a little bit later. The only reason I'm focusing the stim right there is to get the Marines out. But I do get a nice amount of damage done. He has the Widow Mines, but notice he did not save scans. Even though he saw it coming out, you have some room to work. Unless the opponent scouts it ahead of time or scans or just makes the right call and gets turrets, you're most likely going to be able to get some damage done with these lovely Banshees. And I like Banshees a lot. They're just fun to play with. Now, you got to make sure that A, what just happened doesn't happen. You want to be in the position to where if they scan, you have enough distance between you and his army to get out of the scan range and not die. In that case, I kind of went into the range with the Widow Mine, which is disappointing. But if we look here at the units killed tab, 4 workers killed. Would have liked to get more SCVs. Harvesters are obviously what you want to target down, but I will take 12 units killed in this case. That's fine for my Banshees. That's going to leave me a little bit of slack when we come into the mid-game, which is going to be very, very nice. And as you can see, I am building away. I'm getting my production going where it needs to go. So we have 3 barracks building right now, and I'm going to push my way into 3rd and 4th gas, 2 eBays, tech labs, 2 tech labs, notice, for barracks, so I can get combat shields and stim, and the regular stuff, starport, reactor. This is all very, very standard. So I'm going to fast forward. I hope you guys don't get a little bit disoriented here. I could, of course, just like do this and let my computer have a heart attack. So right now, notice the clock. It's 12 minutes, and apparently I say notice and note a lot when I watch my videos back. I'm like, why would I do that? That's way too much. So I don't have to push out right now. I need to be defending against a 1 Rax Fast Expand, especially during this mid-game timing. This is the exact moment where he is hoping to get a good timing attack against me. So it's important that I'm not across the map trying to hit that gnarly mid-game timing against a player who's doing this. Now, if he was doing a command center first, or if he did a similar opening, or if it looked like he was going to go for a fast 3rd, then I probably can get away with going across the map. But against a 1 Rax Fast Expand Terran, I need to do damage with the Banshees to prepare for the mid-game. Against really any other playstyle, you can get a 2nd and 3rd command center followed up by 2 more barracks. I talked about that in the last Terran vs. Terran video. You can get the way I like to do it, which is the command center on the low ground followed by 2 more racks. That brings you up to 3, and I lose this drop here, and he BMs me. Dude, don't BM other people. Don't BM other people. Or maybe he's BMing the fact that or he might just be lolling at the fact that I had an SCV loaded up in that medevac. Yo, it's a tech strategy, bro. Don't forget. So I'm scanning on his army here and there. I just took my 3rd base. Notice we're taking the 3rd base a little bit later, but that's because I was fearful of those tough mid-game timings. You want to save your scans. It's TvT. This is the exact same as the last video, so I'm not going to hammer too much home for you guys. You should know quite a bit about this. try and drop on his tank, get one tank trade out of the deal, which is pretty nice. He ends up loading up a drop, a really big drop, a big commitment here, and I lose my base. So I send part of my army back. He unsieges his army. I do lose the command center, but that's the stupidest thing he could have focused, man. Should have focused upgrades. He had 4 fully loaded medevacs, and he didn't take out any of the NG bays, which are right there, which is fine with me, man. That's not a huge deal. Just get the depots down. I've got a lot of money going. I still have 2 mules going, and if you notice, he's starting to transition into mech play. I'll show you in a second. See that scan? Do you see the amount of tanks and the complete lack of bio around those tanks? Also, the cue that he was going to transition into mech is the fact that he has Vikings off of this next engagement, and although I do lose this army, it shows the Vikings right there, and that Viking count is enough to let me know that he's trying to switch into mech tech. That's why I have Marauders as well, is because of the high tank count. Marauders can be useful for that. So I'm just building up. Even though I traded that army really poorly, I still have enough stuff back home to do this. The Banshee Open lets you get into just a super standard play. Okay, that's it. It's fun. It's simple. I'm checking for his 3rd base right here with my drop, and I see that he's taking it. Then I lose this drop, and I definitely shouldn't have lost this drop, but it's like not a huge deal. I know when he's taking his 3rd, I'm on 4 bases before he's on 3 bases. He really should have expanded a little bit earlier, but I'm not going to comment on his play. I just have enough bio to really hit hard during his transition to mech. So if you guys know anything about Terran, following up into mech, the mech army is really great in the late game, but it's very hard to resupply, whereas the bio army, you can throw a lot of it at your opponent over and over and over again and trade more effectively. So I see he's trying to get all these lovely tanks. That's more than enough bio. I have more than enough bio to take care of that. His bio, note, I just want to show you here, I actually saw this. His small bio force that he has left, totally out of position. You have to have these guys to defend this. This is a very easy to break thing. As long as, look at all this open space, I have more than enough to kill it. 3-3 is done for this guy. He only has 0-1 for the tanks. So you just spread out a nice big fat arc, and we're done with this game. Stim in for the win, yo. 3-3 Marines are beautiful, and that's all she really wrote. So my Banshees didn't do like overwhelming amounts of damage. They did a nice amount of damage. You just want to use the Banshees as a scouting tool to see what your opponent's doing. If he's following up with Banshees of his own, you get a Raven at home followed by a Viking. If he's following up with a 1-base all-in, you need to get into tank production really fast. But it's good, man. It's a fun, easy build. And you should definitely do it, because who doesn't like being aggressive in the beginning of the game? And if you watch a lot of pro Terran matches right now, a ton of dudes are using this. So I'm just going to show this replay. I have like 4 or 5 more with Banshees, but to be honest, I just want to... We don't need to go in depth with this. I talked a lot about the matchup specifics last time, and Terran vs. Terran is really fun. You've got a lot of choices in terms of how you want to play this build out, and just, dudes, enjoy. And ladies, enjoy. And that'll do it for this video. I want to keep it short and sweet. The next video is going to be the Terran vs. Zerg tutorial, and that's going to be an Innovation 3cc build, which is great. It's command center first, leads you into 3 command centers, which is really fun. I like TvZ. It's my favorite matchup next to TvT, and now with the Hellbat change too, man, it's pretty sweet. The initial 6 Hellion push that you do with the build I'm going to show you lets you turn those Hellions into Hellbats really, really fast, and TvZ is a really cool matchup right now, and well, it's always pretty much been a cool matchup, but I think especially right now, you can play Bio Hellbat, you can play Bio Widowmine, you can play Bio Tank, so it's flexible. I like it. Alright, we'll see you next time, Terran brethren and sisters. Have a really good time on the ladder, and I will talk to you next time. Adios.